And you keep this one, so I have to still deal with Hella.
Thank you, everyone. We're tuning in on Patrick Shadowmeld's and Troy Miller's match. We're going to be commenting on this
switch if I
to
wanted
not
to,
interrupt what they're doing.
This team has the best matchup against your other team.
So
I need to win.
Be trying to show what's going on right now.
Makes sense.
Patrick won match 1.
All right, so then you would get to.
I think Troy won.
Troy won the first game.
Oh, Troy won the first one.
Yes, I will go first. Are you good to go?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. New basic action.
Hey, Chris, can you clear like all the stats off the screen, like the life and everything?
There. Now
I will.
There we go.
I'll buy a Steve Trevor. Go ahead.
Switching gears. Take that, but I want other stuff.
Can't see Troy's all that well. Let me see what team he's playing. It's the one with Insect Plague. Let me see.
Yeah, it looks like it's Misdirection and Insect Plague.
Troy Miller.
You know what? I'm going to go with Rennet Tilly after that.
Okay, so he's
nice translucent dye.
Troy's running Tabaxi Rogue, Super Rare Jubilee, Mr. Fix-It, Malekith Uncommon, Professor X, Dum Dum Dugan, Rennet Tilly, Boom Boom Uncommon, Misdirection, and Insect Plague.
I'll buy Jane Foster, Resurrect, and Field Sidekick.
All right.
And it looks like Patrick. Where is his?
That's good.
Well, I've had the pleasure of playing this team. I helped out Shadow Meld test while he was really helping me out. But this team is focusing on all Immortals. It has the Malekith. I believe it's the Super Rare.
Yeah. And then Trevor, Steve Trevor, Wonder Woman, Wrecker, Bishop.
So the Steve Trevor Wonder Woman combo is pretty neat because he gets to KO when this Steve Trevor, whenever it's KO'd, it makes Wonder Woman cost 3 less, and you can immediately purchase it and prep it, no matter what phase you're in.
Oh wow, that is a deadly combination. And then when he gets Hella out there, the 7 cost, he can if she's already out there, it'll make her pretty much. With Jane Foster, if she's fielded with Hella, he can get it down to a 1 cost if he KOs Steve Trevor.
Yeah, and then also, excuse me, sorry about that. He's running
one guy still in bag.
Jane Foster that's cheapens the Immortals, so he gets to buy Hella pretty early.
Nice.
I'll reroll these 2.
So, Robert, what are your thoughts?
I'm just going through the Facebook
Jane Foster and Steve Trevor
post right now.
Oh, okay.
1 second.
Oh, I got a post on the Facebook post that I lost terribly.
Be just a second, gentlemen. I have to get rid of this horrible sound.
That's all right. I will. Sorry, you have nothing in the field, right?
Well, yeah. I thought this is the way it is right now. So, there, I want sidekick.
Okay, I'll pass to let you make a sidekick.
Okay.
I'll buy a Yarnborn. Your turn.
Yeah, no, Scarlet Witch. Alright, there's Rennet Tilly. Oh, that's got the feeling cuff. Alright. Yes, she does have the feeling cuff. Alright, so I'll pay 2 for all that mess.
Alright.
Your turn.
Draw one.
Honestly, I've had the pleasure of playing both of these guys, and Shadow Meld has the most excellent bag management out of any player I've ever seen. I have learned quite a few things from him.
Yeah. I always like to try to get my bag management down under control. It's really interesting to see people when they actually have a good way to keep in control and not necessarily have the exact pieces they need every single time.
Troy is too. I love any ideas he comes up with, and also he has solid plays. I mean, he knows his stuff just as well as Shadow Meld
doing with this team. Go ahead.
Yeah, I like listening to this podcast. He always has great ideas, creative teams. They're fun teams. It's good stuff.
I mean, both of these guys are great brewers. I mean, they're my senpai in this instance.
I think we're just going
so, I mean, I look up to these guys, and like I said, I've been playing with Shadow Meld quite a few times lately, and he's just really taught me a thing or two about these teams going into this tournament.
Okay.
Yeah, I've kind of just my kind of cooking and all that has been just me thinking of what good combos work together well, and I think I do a decent enough job, but a lot of times it just falls flat on its face.
Reroll.
Well, one thing Shadow Meld taught me is that every time you build a team, it has to always be like whatever combo you're using. It always has to be towards the end goal, which is to bring your opponent down to 0 life.
To be able to sidekick.
So like every time I bring a team up to him or a team list, he would go, okay, but what does this do towards your end goal? You know, he's like, I get what it's trying to do here, but is it helping your end goal? Is it going to get you there?
So not wasting any precious real estate.
And I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. I happened upon the Hella Beholder thing just off of luck. You know, that was not 100% me. I feel that was my best team brew, especially the list that I took to WKO. It could have been better, but still, that was the best thing I could come up with. And I feel like had I been under their Troy's tutelage on it, I probably would have had a better build.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that sucks.
It is really rough when you make a team and you think it's really good, then it just falls flat on its face. And I don't think yours fell flat on its face. You just got Yanti steamrolled.
Yeah, under a different meta, under a.
Without Cosmic Cube, your team would have done really well.
If I did that,
I think so.
still be
I
screwed.
mean, look at the latest and greatest teams that are out there. Pretty much Navi, Villain Control would have been the go-to for a lot of people.
Yeah, and that would have unless they had. I mean, the Madam Mask on your team was really, really ridiculous. Being able to force them to remove something and keep something of your keep your stuff, that was amazing.
Yeah, let's go for it.
But anyway, getting back to these two players, just great. I mean, these guys are the OGs. They've been here since the beginning.
And Troy actually helped out a lot in putting this tournament out. He was the voice of reason when talking about doing stupid stuff for the tournament. He's like, okay, that sounds cool, but I think you want to do it like this. Not trying to tell you how to do it, but this is a good idea right here. And I was like, yeah, you're definitely right about that. So Troy is really smart when it comes to tournaments. He's put on a few himself, and he was very intricate in putting this one on too.
I will field a sidekick.
I've enjoyed all of his online tournaments. I've only been able to play in one since he started doing them, but they've just been great.
Wonder Woman for 2.
Yep.
And man,
All right, one more chance.
I like when good players like this have to play our format, and they have to create 2 great teams.
Well, it wouldn't matter.
What?
I forgot that I had Renette Tilly, so I could fix my misdirection, but I didn't have the dum-dum.
Not if it lands on energy. You only get to change it from one action phase to another action phase.
Oh, right.
That's why I hate Renatili.
Oh, okay, so I'm fixing it the wrong way.
Is that as good as Crystal?
Yeah.
She'd be really good if she did what you said she did.
Yeah.
Or
she would be a counter to Scarlet Witch, but she's not.
Uncommon.
Bad. All right.
Rip Hunter.
Yes.
Well, then we are going to.
I almost put him on one of the teams.
Dum Dum.
I probably should have, but eh.
Looking at the team, the lineup that Troy has, it's a pretty solid build with the Dum Dum Dugan. That's been a pretty straight approach, straightforward approach.
Mm-hmm.
We'll run this team, or variants of this
Only
team.
4 dice in bag. All this.
I wish Dum Dum Dugan was an ally, just for Insect Plague to be nasty.
That's the difference between that and the cube. You know,
Yeah.
like how far, like how many steps away are you
trips.
from it being a rare cube?
True.
Works. I will field all of these things. Only the globals of active characters may be used.
Yep.
Oh, sounds like a wrecker.
Yeah.
He's wrecking face right now.
All right. Here's 3.
Oh wow. This field is ridiculous.
And 4.
Man, almost looks like the first match that I played, which I shouldn't have attacked when I did.
You could have held out and bought a collector and then his Owlman. I think that was just the difference, is knowing when to use y'all's Owlman or your collector to do other things.
Yeah, it's just I didn't buy a collector at that. It was past. In my mind, I was thinking it's past the point to do anything with the collector because it's getting down on minutes, and I just gotta try to push as much damage. I shouldn't have attacked with Madam Mask. I think I would have won if I hadn't used Madam Mask to attack.
Yeah, I really think that would have made the difference as well.
So right after I declared it, and I was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that," but I already declared it, and I didn't want to take backsies.
Oh, why did I do that? Hold on.
Hey, can you slide your attack row down? I can't see it on the screen.
Down? Okay.
Thanks.
Bother. Okay, so that's not going to help. That's not going to help.
So right now he has looks like Jane Foster, Wrecker, Wonder Woman, Hela, and Steve Trevor in the field.
Yeah, 2 Steve Trevors.
Oh, so he doesn't have a Hela.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, that's what he's missing.
All right, well, I will, I'll choose to send this to the energy face then. I did not get the one with 4 first. I will use that to field her. Do I want to do anything
In Troy's field, what is that 022? Was that an adventure?
That's a Renatilli.
I haven't played with her often enough.
Basically, whenever you roll a action die, you can
on an action face.
On an action face, you get to choose which side it came up on. So for a double burst action, it's really good.
And I'm going to attack with...
I'm sorry, I missed that. You cut out. What was that?
Yeah, I passed priority, but you don't have anything. So I'm going to attack with Jubilee and Dum Dum. Yeah, I'll do with those 2. So Dum Dum's got a 7 attack.
Okay. I will block with both of my Steve Trevors. The 4 attack on Jubilee and the 3 attack on Dum Dum. Well, I'm sorry. What's Dum Dum's defense?
They both die.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really interesting here that he didn't keep
All right,
that
5 dice going into the bag.
action die that he rolled.
Yeah.
What was the blue one? I don't know what that blue one is.
I think it's
Sidekick's
misdirection.
still in there.
Man, he kind of just needs ramp right now.
I will reroll just the Steve Trevor.
I think he needs...
Comes up as double bolts.
His thing. This is what he did the last game.
I will...
Isn't that enough for Hela?
I think it is. I think for him to win... to be in a good spot right here, he might
buy a Hela.
Yep.
There we go.
For 5.
Mm-hmm.
And
he could knock out
Trevor.
Trevor.
Oh, he can't because Record Global.
That's correct.
Wrecker prevents globals.
Oh man.
Still.
Anything with globals at the moment.
He should probably, in a turn or two, he should probably buy Malekith and try to...
It's bypass priority.
Actually, he's probably in a good spot right now.
What defense does Wrecker
have? He's got a 3 defense.
All right, I'm going to ping him out.
You can't magic missile. Wrecker is active.
Oh, right, because that doesn't work. And I can't ping anything.
All right, so...
Right. Yeah.
So he's going to
Cast you, your turn.
Hela here, and then he's going to Yarnbjorn and give all of his immortal characters +2/+2.
Which is everything.
Oh, no, wait, sorry, I just bought her.
You just bought her, yeah?
Yep.
All right.
Oh.
This is how he sets his turns up. It's actually just brilliant to watch.
All right. Well, that is a lot of...
That's a Malekith that he's trying to roll, right?
Yeah,
So...
it's the pump your tunes, or your pawns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's that would work.
So the one thing you were talking about earlier about brewing,
Right,
what I've been trying to do is make Morph a better character or better build as far as the uncommon Morph that gives you the bolt, the double burst.
Yeah.
Whenever he attacks, so it's a when fielded ability, and then also whenever he attacks, you get to use that.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about was when you use the Morph's ability, you can use the whole action plus the double burst. So if you're going to use Shockwave, not only are you dealing 3 damage to your opponent, but you're also KOing all level 1 characters.
Oh.
Okay.
And also...
That actually increases how effective Uncommon Morph is.
Okay.
Go for it.
Ooh.
But you could potentially get it to where you have a level 1 Morph and then just swing...
Fill the bag.
Including Morph, but then you also get to do his double burst, which is deal 3 damage, and then KO him and use him again the next turn.
Draw 3 more. Just Hela and 2 sidekicks.
Oh, this could be
There is one.
Ooh.
That is not a Hela.
I want to watch you to roll it, so this will be over quicker.
Yeah, no, that's how I felt last game. I was like,
yeah. I think with my brewing, I need to just try to figure out a way to get someone down to 0 more often, because most of the time I'm just trying to think of ways to control.
Like, hey, I did the thing.
Yeah.
Feel the sidekick.
Oh,
this is brutal.
I didn't know this is the Rob Rolls tournament.
Pass priority.
Nice.
And then attack with just Steve Trevor.
And what's he at?
He's a 2/1.
2/1. I will block.
Who's running that list? I saw somebody submit a list that was very similar.
For 2.
With the Morph, with the uncommon Morph. Somebody ran.
And then Hela goes back into my bag.
I don't know. Let me see.
Your turn.
Alright. One, two. Okay. Oh, I forgot yet. Oh, the sidekick.
It's only 5.
Yeah, but that's enough.
TJ Bozilla.
TJ Bozilla, yeah. So he went for a build that was similar to the one that I was thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
It looks good. There's a couple of things. Let's see. Flying Hammer and Focus Power.
All right, we'll field all that then.
I think
doesn't.
there's something with
the Shockwave version.
And I don't have anything in my use pile, so
yeah.
Let's went that route. Hang on, just a second.
So I will send it to.
It is okay. It's Nick Whale or Wall.
Wow.
So his first team is actually a pretty good build. It involves Collector, So then he can just for two masks, one in a mask.
Only 4 dice in bag.
Mold.
And then,
dude, that's a pretty nasty team. It's just you. Is there any good double burst action dice left? Or basic actions left?
Like, so the only ones that I really found have been Shockwave or Flying Hammer deals with characters. And the only other one that I can really think of is there's a couple of them that like Momentum, where you get to roll
stuff in your use pile.
Prep. Well, no, you get to roll what's in your prep.
Yeah, and with the double burst, you get to roll one from your bag too.
So you get the whole effect. You get the whole thing.
I
mean,
or another Hella.
Oh my god!
And then I will pay.
We're looking at about a
Yarnborn.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus! I played an Immortal team at Duncanville that was brutal.
Your turn.
All right. 1, 2.
I like the idea of having Malekith on there to make him villain and increase the sidekick's damage by 1. Oh. Sure. And I think with that, with Hella and Yarnborn.
Wait, when did you buy Mr. Fix-It?
Long time ago.
Mr. Fix-It. All right. So. Well, I'm definitely fielding Mr. Fix-It, that's for sure.
By the way, Hella is in my bag, not the one I just bought, but the other one.
Yeah. It's not going to matter. We'll buy the other in this direction, just make sure we have a whole bunch of them going on.
Sure.
And then you've got a bunch of those, so let us attack with at least Mr. Fix-It and a 8 attack Dum Dum. Yeah, let's do that. Sorry, I gotta pull those down a little. Mr. Fix-It.
Those are 2 big, humongous bodies.
Jane Foster and a Wonder Woman.
Okay.
This is the crucial turn. I'm pretty sure you should be able to roll out either a Hella or
which one is blocking Dum Dum
in that combination.
Oh, Wonder Woman will block Dum Dum.
Okay, so he'll get knocked out.
Yeah. All right, draw 1. Refill my bag.
If he gets 2 yarns here, that could be pretty massive turn right here.
Because those sidekicks are going to be huge.
Yeah. He just needs Hella to come up.
Were those all Hellas?
He's got 2 Hellas. He got one to roll, and the other one's energy. I don't think he wants the other Hella to be anything but energy right now. He does want the Jane Foster.
He needs to be able to field.
Yeah, he needs Jane Foster to come up here. He does have Steve Trevor, though. That's a pretty deadly field. I don't know if that's deadly, though.
A2 to field Hella and Wonder Woman. And I will...
16.
What's your total defense?
16 total defense.
Okay, so 7, 23 plus 15 is 48.
That's game. That's game.
And you have no globals, right?
He can't
use it if I had him.
Right. All right, so let me do my math again. I'm going to go ahead and play Yarnborn. So this is 15 overcrushing attack.
Yeah, so basically
they all are immortals. 12, 13, Jane Foster just cheapens the because of the
I'm blocking all your sidekicks with all of that. So I've got one sidekick left.
Okay. This would be 5 and 5, and this is 6 and 7, so that's 23 on top of that.
Looks good to me.
Man.
Pass priority. Declare the attack with everything.
Alrighty. Yeah, my team, this one has no answer to record.
So now we're on to game 3.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
So brutal.
That the first pairing was the worst matchup for us, or for this team. And my other team has pretty much even matchups against both of them. So here's hoping, right?
Yeah. No, I almost bought Professor X just so I could use that, but even there, I'd be just pinging one. I mean, it wouldn't have made much difference.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Jubilee's really strong. Would have made me have to go buy Bishop.
Nah, it would have taken me 10 turns to get you anywhere near.
So
now they're moving on to game 3.
And that's going to be Jubilee, Professor X, Mimic,
Yeah,
Madam
being able to buy
Mask,
Wonder
Billy Club,
Woman for 3 or for
Shriek,
2 or 1 is
single
ridiculous.
target,
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Oh.
All right, so third
Wong.
game, right?
Here's another one.
I gotta see this.
Here's another one that Shadow Meld used against me very effectively. I just, at certain times, I couldn't do anything about it either. It was kind of bad. The only effective counter I had up against this team was that was the only thing I could
You'll
do.
see things you recognize.
Say things.
Yeah,
in
I
the chat.
remember seeing it originally and thinking, oh,
This is an interesting team.
There we go.
Guys, really interesting gameplay. I'm really glad you two are playing each other right now because it's really good.
Thanks.
I'm really glad that the one that I got beat down on was the one that was on the stream.
Well, I mean, your other team looks pretty solid too. So.
It was. It basically had every answer to the team that I just played. Nothing on that team has a win fielded or wins attacks ability, so Wonder Woman doesn't slow him down at all.
It makes me not have to take a damage from the mindless ones. That was kind of nice.
Yeah, it actually helps your team. So, yeah, the other team was definitely great for his first matchup. The question is which one of us will pilot these two teams better, because they're nearly identical in game plan.
Sidekicks all around.
Well, good luck, gentlemen. I'll leave you to it.
All right.
Should we roll off again, or is it back to me for deciding who goes first?
It's back.
I think it's back to you.
Yes, sir.
No, it's roll off.
It's whoever lost.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Let's see.
All right, so these two teams, similar strategy. The only thing is that
Magic Missile and create food and water.
Meld is using Spider-Man War of the Heart to get through, whereas Troy is using less conventional means, I guess you could say.
I will go first.
Sure.
And Insect Plague.
Yeah, Insect Plague is pretty nasty.
Yeah, I played Chris with Insect Plague with the control team.
We'll go
With Foot
Jubilee.
Ninja, though.
But yeah, with the Foot Soldier or Foot Ninja. Yeah.
I'm so glad that rotated out because that was a really good team, and I hated playing you with it.
Yeah.
I honestly think it would have been on top. I think that would have been the team to beat post ban.
And it is kind of ridiculous they rotated it. Robert, why don't you talk about the rotation a little bit, because you didn't really get to say anything, and I kind of said something for you.
Reroll these two fists.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed that they rotated out the turtle set for sure, because I mean it's a fixed set.
Sidekick.
You know, I didn't like that at all.
Why a Jubilee?
I really like Deadpool. I know Deadpool was out for a while, but you didn't really see that many cards other than Multiple Man.
Go for it.
That's really all you saw out of Deadpool really was Multiple Man.
And even that was just limited play.
Yeah, I liked it.
You have one of the fixers.
The only bad thing about Multiple Man was the fielding cost. He was a little expensive.
I do in fact have a.
Yeah, but you only needed to field one of them.
True.
Mask, actually.
But for a ring team, we wanted to get a bunch of them out there.
That was actually the second team you played against me, because I told you to bring your hardest teams to show me how to play.
You almost quit. That was hilarious.
Oh.
What else?
I asked for it.
Yeah, you did.
All right, I'll field the sidekick.
So let's coming back to that point. So, Robert, you brought up something, and Chris, you did as well. The reason for them moving to the LCG model, as well as them just wanting to scale down the power level because of games like that. Games that would a person at like first blush would just be like, "Oh, well, this is ridiculous. There's no way I can compete with this. I have to spend, X amount of dollars just to to chase after these cards that this person's schooling me with." Immediate, turn off from the game for a lot of new people, and I think they recognized that, and they said, "Okay, well, let's just scale it all down. Let's just do the way with them, rotate the most nastiest set that could provide the most unfair advantage to new players."
I will.
I really think that's what they were going for. Since they're going to that
living card game
model, they wanted to get rid of a bunch of old things that are blind packs and stuff like that. That's why I was a little surprised by the third one. I know it's a little older, but that is like a fixed box set.
And I will create food and water.
Yeah, I did think that it should have had more time to shine, because I think in the new meta, that would have been a really good set to use with that Foot Ninja.
Yeah, but maybe that's the reason why, because that Foot Ninja.
All right.
Foot Ninja with Insect Plague is just stupid.
I'm drawing 4.
Not that it matters.
Especially with that Professor X. I mean, you can imagine the team. Super Rare Jubilee, Professor X Rare,
can I take that back?
and then swing in with Foot Ninja.
And Boom Boom.
Yep.
And Boom Boom. With
now it's your turn.
Oh, that just sounds... I don't want to play that.
Played it during the holiday fun times tournament that Troy put on, and I played 2 iterations of that team, and that was pretty brutal. For what I had back in the day, I didn't have much, so that's not saying a lot. But the teams that I saw were just pretty much that, and they were pretty good.
Well, that's disappointing, but...
The first real teams that I'd built were villain teams. I think everyone, when they first start playing, tries to build a good, decent villain team. And
I think so too. There's just so many of them, and they're most of the villains are good.
Yeah.
There's tons of support for villain keyword.
Yeah, and I had Black Manta.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think I only played it a couple times, and you found a way around it because you know how to play around it. But
I draw 4 from
I played other people, and I just destroyed them with Black Manta.
Yeah.
Black Manta, and then the common cheetah. Those were back in the day. Those were ways to push the villain team,
to the nth degree.
Mm-hmm. She was one of my favorite.
Outsider. So here's the crazy part about Outsider. Before it was reprinted in Superman and Wonder Woman, it was you could only get it as a promo.
And deal 1 damage to you.
That was the only way you could get it. So it was like in certain circles, it was impossible to get because you just didn't have the local game store that provided that for you. Those promos.
Another sidekick for a
I
total
had
of 3
a
damage to you this
ton
turn.
of those things too.
Okay.
I did a couple of trades before Chris started helping me do trades, and I stopped. But that was one of the ones that a lot of people were asking me.
All right.
That and OP Martian Manhunter was weird.
Create food and water on your turn.
So before Superman and Wonder Woman packs were released, the Outsider was going for like a good $10 to $20.
Yeah, there was a sidekick in the bag. Wouldn't matter.
I never even looked at that card because I had so many of them. I figured everyone had a bunch of them.
Again, it was only because only so many local game stores really provided it for you.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna flip through this Deadpool binder and see what I'm gonna.
I think the main one you're gonna miss is probably Multiple Man.
I missed my flying car already.
I missed it too. I literally went out and bought that just for the Mr. Fix-It team that you showcased, Robert. This is before the channel even started up. I remember playing you, and I was like, "Oh, hey, that's a really good idea."
And now it's gone. I mean, there's the Agent Carter to put sidekicks back in the bag.
Pass back.
The Electra, the rare Electra.
There was the Cuckoo Sisters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those were cool.
Hit
Monkey.
Dude,
I loved Hit Monkey. That was one of my favorites.
Robert's team for the event, for the tournament with Mr. Fix-It is pretty nasty also.
I hope it does well. Super rare multiple, man.
Synced it. Oh, wow. This is brutal. Oh, this is just... Oh.
What happened? I'm sorry.
Look at Shadow Meld. He's about to field a Mimic with 2 sidekicks.
Oh, he's going to pull his whole entire bag.
I'll field 2 sidekicks, dealing 2 damage to you.
Why didn't he field Mimic?
I'll turn one of those sidekicks into a mass.
Oh.
To pay for this guy, who I will copy my sidekick.
Ooh,
with
is that a
3
misplay?
sidekicks here. No, it's not a midplay. It's not a misplay.
No.
Well,
He's swinging with all of his.
Oh, and then...
I will ping out one more sidekick.
Cool.
Doing is he's making sure that he has 4 dice in his bag at all times.
Why?
Ah.
What do you mean, why?
Oh, you
Already copied a sidekick. All he needs to do is just pull one out of his used pile.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Well, back to Deadpool. There's the rare storm that got overshadowed by a tune.
Oh, yeah.
And super rare X23.
Yep. I remember a couple of good teams with that.
Lady
Yeah.
Deadpool, super rare. I wanted to get that, but after a rotation, I don't think I'm going to care about that.
13?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Saturday I'm going to set up a
Deadpool-
Golden Age event.
And,
Doesn't have anything to contribute towards Golden Age either, when you think about it.
Well, with Cube being legal in Golden Age.
4.
For Deadpool, though, think about it.
Yeah, true.
What does Deadpool add to Golden Age? I don't know.
Really think about it, because the only thing I'm coming up with is pretty much multiple man
Well,
stretch, because there are better options.
well, I mean that Super X23, because you pair that with PXG, you got 4 sidekicks. You attack and you roll those dice, and then you do damage. Oh, she gets +2, and then you just give her some Overcrush, and you're doing some damage.
Pay 1 to field him.
But I would probably still use Mr. Fix-It over that anyways.
Well, you're Mr. Fix-It fanboy right now.
And then I will fix the side.
They don't call you Handyman Hernandez for nothing.
Yeah, I'm really gonna miss Babs too.
Oh, I'm not going to miss Babs.
all right.
I love Babs. That was the most expensive card I've ever bought.
I actually think that they were going to stop at World's Finest because it was the fairest of the sets, as
Mhm.
far as like what it offered for control and all that.
Yeah.
And prepping.
I think they kind of had to get that out of there just before the Ultraman and the Kryptonite. Mostly the Kryptonite.
It'll actually end up doing 4 damage to me.
I think them rotating out War of Light really fixed the whole entire Cosmic Cube thing anyways.
So what do you at now?
Why? Why War of Light?
Because that had Parallax.
My turn?
Oh yeah.
No, that War of Light needed to go. There
Yeah.
was no question on that.
War of Light
was-
definitely was
that
the
was-
one that needed to go. But I don't like. I understand why they rotated, like they banned Cube, but then again, with Switch, she almost stops Cube unless you put uncommon Rip Hunter on there, which you're using another card at that point.
Here, Shadow Melt's going to go for 2 purchases. He's going to go for Wong and Spider-Man War of the Heart.
I will
Maybe
field
a Madam
sidekick.
Mask.
And deal 1 damage to you.
Two.
So Troy's at 11 right now.
I have 2.
I like his
generic.
life counter. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Super simple, but it's
I'll
awesome.
buy 2 Wongs.
There's the Wong. I wonder if he's going to get the War of the Heart.
What?
I have 2 generic energy for my back burn.
Oh, right.
Oh, that chestnut.
May not. He might spin one of these sidekicks down. Yeah. So if he spins one of the sidekicks down, if he hasn't already, he has a chance to then refilled another sidekick during Troy's turn, and then prep and draw 2, which would effectively give him all of the dice from his bag.
I will.
A 4 cost here. That'll give him 1 less to do that.
Buy a shriek. Pass priority.
Why is he going for the shriek there? Is it just to try to shut down Troy a little bit more?
Yeah, I think he's running into an issue with the super rare Jubilee, or I'm actually thinking it's the Tabashi Rogue.
Ah, that's a Tabaxi Rogue, man.
Oh, dude, that's so bad for that mimic ramp.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Why I included it on my Captain America team, because my Captain America team was going to be able to slow that down, whatever everybody was doing, to where I could just get in there with a big, meaty Captain America and just swing for 10 damage at a time.
Do all your ramp that you want.
Do all the ramp.
I think, it might be a really good thing to do. Oh, never mind. Mimic doesn't copy the ability of him.
Just copies the stats.
So you would have to have super rare doppelganger to copy the Tabaxi Rogue, then, wouldn't you?
Yes, you would.
That's too high of a value to do that.
Here's what I'm thinking. This tournament, this 2-team takedown tournament, is going to show us what pieces specifically are good together.
Yeah.
Pick from each of the teams. One thing that I'm recognizing is that spot and investigation are going to be like the #1 methods of ramp, and then next to it is going to be mimic and PXG.
Yep. And I need to get my PXG from Ryan, or my Wait, yeah. I traded 3 cards for
You're gonna pass priority
for Professor X.
Pass priority. Yep. I made him unblock.
So then the other thing I was recognizing that the only effective counter against that kind of ramp and something that will keep everybody under control is going to be Tabashi Rogue.
Your unblockable sidekick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And ramp 2 dice. And takes 2 damage.
Yeah.
So he's taking 2 damage right here.
I'm still gonna attack because I can.
With who?
I've got people to attack with.
No, I was just asking with who.
I'll just attack with Dum Dum.
All right.
Dum Dum's still pretty big here.
Yeah.
What is he, a 4/4?
Looks like he's a 5/3.
All right, and I'm gonna misdirection out my Dum Dum for my Dum Dum.
Sounds good. My mimic dies, your Dum Dum doesn't.
Yep. He's got 3.
That was funny.
That's a really good defensive play.
Yeah.
Was actually testing with me a lot of those games was how much to and how much not to ramp with while I had my Tabashi Rogue out.
2 Wongs, a mimic, and 3 sidekicks.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
These are 2 guys that you definitely can tell that they've played against each other and know kind of what they're thinking a little bit, or they've seen each other play.
Man.
Would 2 Wongs and Mimic copying Wong be good here?
First things first, I will pay a shield to
copies the printed stats. It doesn't copy the actual stats.
Oh, okay, so still wouldn't.
Then I will.
Does he get to ramp whenever he fills those because they're allies?
No, because it's not in the field.
Mimic, no. So Mimic, it has to specifically be sidekick dice. It can't be sidekicks.
Okay.
It has to be that
allies.
specific dice.
Down to 9.
Then I will.
Can't be allies, basically. Doesn't have enough for a win here because Troy has too many blockers.
Gong.
Sorry.
That notion was seconded. So he's determined whether or not to go all in with the Shriek and another sidekick as well, because then he could deal 1 damage, which would put Troy down to, I think, single digits here, if not already.
1 off, man.
Troy's at 9 right now.
If I can get it.
Okay, so he's trying to see if he can
Oh wait.
have
Kill him?
enough. He does have enough.
He can kill him here?
Oh wait. I will pay a mask.
He's got
to field
1,
another
2,
sidekick.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
Oh.
attackers, and he's got
Ping
4
your
blockers.
sidekick off.
Yep.
3
and
blockers.
He just fielded another sidekick, so he
The
knocked
one
out
to fill the street.
and he knocked out one of the sidekicks on Troy's side.
He's got it now.
Yeah.
So what is that Dum Dum now?
Dum Dum's a 3/3.
It's just a 3/3 because he doesn't have sidekick.
That's correct.
I will pay one and shriek your hold on.
Better at this point.
What's in your bag?
Sidekick.
And a misdirection, right?
No, misdirection is over here. Sorry.
And it's 3 sidekicks?
Yep.
There's a chance of a misdirection.
Yeah, but Dum Dum is just my sidekick anyway, so you don't.
Oh, is he?
I mean, he has enough here to
And then I will shriek your Jubilee.
there. Anyway, he's just trying to make sure.
I got nothing.
So weird.
I will in the turn.
Bet here.
All right.
I mean, he can technically block with 3 things. I don't think he has lethal yet.
Yeah.
I think he's too off from lethal.
You didn't really have to worry too much about
Increasing the.
so you could have just waited, but you are waiting.
I don't know. I'm still at 11. My field would have been pretty empty. So.
That's true. But
And clear, if you roll 2 sidekicks and then make 2 sidekicks, Dum Dum gets big fast.
He is not wrong.
yeah, he does. Oh, he needs 1 blocker card because I'm not playing it right.
Contract provided by Troy Miller.
Yeah, I'll draw it out. So, field 2 sidekick.
Yeah.
Why am I confused here? That's why. Okay. And then I will
Food and Water Global.
give it to you.
All right. Fill the bag.
Going for the magic missile. He's going. That's what he's going for.
Oh, no mimic.
Missile stall out.
I mean, he can if he can get 3 magic missiles here, he might be able to get it.
I will field the sidekick and ping off one of your sidekicks.
I think he's got it right here. Because he can magic missile.
Magic missile for 2.
Yeah.
Who would he get rid of?
Yeah, that's
One
the
sidekick.
question.
He'd get rid of 1 sidekick only. Everyone else is 3 defense.
Yeah. And
So he'd
then
only have 3 blockers.
1,
and
2, 3, 4, 5.
And he's at 9 health.
So what he would need to do here is he would need to use the fist. Well, no, he's got all of his sidekicks though.
I think he's going to attack with 4 sidekicks for sure.
Pay 2 masks to make my one unblockable.
You can only do it once per turn. You can only do it once.
Pass priority.
What are their defenses?
3.
3. All right.
You can only do it once.
2 of your sidekicks.
Let me see.
And then I will make 2 sidekicks.
Okay. And I will.
Oh, is that what Insect Plague says?
Spin this side.
It says you can pay a mask once per turn on your turn.
And
Do they have 2? They only have 1, so yeah.
Attack with my 2 wands.
Which I can't block.
Which you cannot block. You are correct.
And that's how much?
I will actually I was gonna create food and water before I hit you, but I don't know if I want to. No, yeah, it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
You're pretty.
I'm not gonna say anything to him until after the game.
How much total damage is that?
Or do you think we should say something to him now?
So I'm down to 2.
I mean, with the way the game is going right now, it's not
gonna change much.
Not gonna change a lot. So
he just gotta field 2 sidekicks next turn and he wins. Granted, he would have just done it next turn again, and it would have been the same effect.
It's just 1 turn difference, but still, I feel bad. We'll have to remind him afterwards. And they're pushing for a game 3 here, aren't they? Or is this is game 3?
This is game 3.
And you've got 1 match over there.
I do.
Oh, he's about to do 1 damage to him right now.
Sorry, he's at 2, so
he'll be at 1 after.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Just need 2 is what I need.
I'm thinking about saying it in the tournament thing.
Well, let's just see how it
plays out.
I think really it doesn't really matter because
just speed the game up by a turn.
That's it. Yeah.
Shut off my Jubilee. Oh, good. That's exactly what I wanted.
Wow. Language. Use fist as an expletive there.
Well, let's field that.
Which does nothing.
We're gonna buy another dum-dum.
Such a brutal spot right here.
My thing here, so I'm just gonna use this one. So I'm gonna buy the dum-dum, and it's gonna be over here, because I think we're gonna be dead.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna bother taking the time to do it. So I think my only chance then is that's gonna be
pass priority.
Yeah, because he's about to.
What's interesting here is Troy can use Tabaxi Rogue's global to potentially have Patrick draw whatever's in his used pile.
And how much?
So that way he doesn't get the sidekicks.
Yeah.
Would he have to reload his bag? 2, 4, 6.
He would have to pull his...
But before you attack, actually, I'm
gonna... Oh yeah, he has a mimic. That's right.
I'm gonna make a sidekick and ping off one of your sidekicks.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right, one more swinging.
Oh.
Okay. I will block.
So this guy's a attack here.
Sure. I will block all your characters with sidekicks.
Okay.
And I will block each of your sidekicks with characters, save 1.
Okay. So he's taking 1 damage.
So then obviously I'll misdirection in Dum-Dum, but he'll be on the small, so he's only going to be 4. But I will have pulled off the combo.
He did it. Got there.
So I'm at 7. Your Dum-Dum goes to use. Your other 3 characters are alive, but your sidekicks are gone.
Okay, so the sidekicks are gone. And he goes through, and then before we finish the attack step, I'm going to pay 2 generic to make us both draw and cut a die, which will do 1 more damage to you.
Sounds good. I'm at 6. Actually, after you do that, I will use this fist to create food and water.
You can do that once per turn, I think. I'm not too sure on that one.
Yeah, it will.
It's once per turn on either player's turn.
I wasn't too sure on that one. I do know the one on insect plague though.
Yeah, Robert knows it because I play him all the time with it.
All right. So
I roll all these.
all you really have to do is get 2 or 3 characters.
All I have to do is get 2 sidekicks.
All he has to do.
Or one, or whatever you have there.
Man, that misdirection is really nasty.
There's 2 maps in there, aren't there?
I was trying to do by misdirecting a Mr. Fix-It in.
And it's over.
And energy to pay for them. GG, sir.
Yep.
I will.
How much extra?
Field 3 sidekicks dealing 3 damage to your face.
And then he makes one Wong unblockable, and he still does the damage that he would have done.
Live and learn.
Well, you bought Tabashi's Rogue, and I was like, wait, there are 2 PXGs. Let me just use him for his masks.
Yeah.
And
And I forgot about the 2 PXGs. I could have been doing more of that too. And maybe got me down last night.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I do have something to like. What you call it? Insect plague is once per turn. Pay a mask and make one thing unblockable. One sidekick unblockable. We don't think it would have changed the game outcome. It would have just moved it along one turn.
Right. Yeah, there was a turn where I didn't use it, and I could have.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next turn, I could have done the other.
Right. So because you get it for 2 of the Wongs, right?
Yeah.
Even if you hadn't made him unblockable, I would have had to either let it through anyway, or one of my characters probably would have gotten knocked out because he's got fast. So yeah, I don't have to make it.
Man.
I could have kept the pressure. But yeah, good game.
Yeah, thanks a lot. That was fun. I think we went a little over time, but it was good.
Well, I think for the last one, you have to have a winner, right? So
exactly.
Yeah, it goes to 5, then 3, then 3, then 3. But you guys were pretty chugging along there.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Good game, gentlemen.
So good.
Excellent.
You had like 4 scroll tokens.
Yeah, I see him out there. I don't see Zach out now.
Oh, we missed the squirrels.
He's the
you did
wood squirrel guy.
Excellent,
game, fellas.
Excellent representation of the tournament, guys. Definitely great.
All right.
I'm sad I didn't get Spider-Man, but I had to go. Oh, no, actually, it's not that I had to go fast. You brought Insect Plague, so I didn't need Spider-Man. That's what it was.
Yeah, you didn't really. It would have been fun to see it though.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I will note that the change up he made was the Wong over something else he was running before. I think he was running another piece.
Yeah. Night, guys. Good game.
Good game.
Yeah.
Good game, Patrick.